In determining sample size for the viral outrage study, we need to create a data set upon which we can run the analysis and the randomization test. Now, ideally, we'd like to create our data set in a way that mimics the procedures or methods of the study. So let's switch over to the software and see how we can do that for this particular example. So what we want to use here is to generate a random observations procedure. And we can find that by selecting Compute and then Generate Random Observations from the main menu. Now here we're given this little menu, and we can see the default options here. We're going to create 100 cases, and that's actually what we want. In the example, we're starting with 100 cases, and we need 4 orderings, however, instead of 2, so we'll change that to 4. So recalling the example, the participants rated the commenters on 4 different items, and the scales were 1 to 7. So we need to create 4 orderings here. And we see the points on the scale is in fact 7, so that's set, but we need to change the constant to 1. The default here is 0 through 6. That's 7 points on the scale, counting the 0. We want to add 1 to that, so it will range from 1 to 7. And we'll go ahead and leave the integer uniform as the default selection there. So we'll select OK, and we see we have created 100 cases here, and we see the 4 orderings. Now what we need to do is sum these orderings, or rather actually we need to average them. That's what was done in the original study. So we'll do so by selecting Compute, and then Compute a composite ordering rather. And we're going to move these over in a moment, but first let's set the weight here to 0.25. So we'll move these over, and we can see they're going to be added up, but they're first going to be weighted by 0.25. So this is equivalent to just taking an average. And we'll go ahead and name this then as av rating, and we'll select OK. So now here we see the average rating. So we have those orderings set up, or that particular ordering set up. Now what we need is the grouping ordering. So we'll go ahead and add an extra ordering in here. We'll change that to 6, and we have this blank ordering. So we'll select the first 50 individuals, like so, and right-click, and then I'm going to fill the selected values and put a 1 there. That's arbitrary, whatever value I want to use here. You're going to see in a moment what I'm going to do. And I'm going to select the remaining 50 individuals, right-click, and fill selected values, change that to 2. So now I have this ordering with 1 and 2 as the units of observation. I'm going to go ahead and define it here. So we'll call that our grouping ordering. And it only has 2 units, and we don't have any decimals of precision here. And now I can go ahead and define it. So 1, let's say that's the viral condition. And then 2, that is the non-viral condition. And I can check the distribution here. I'm going to move this and stretch this out a little bit. So sure enough, I have 50 people in the viral condition, 50 people in the non-viral condition, so 100 total. That's where we wanted to start our determination of sample size procedure from. And so we have 100 individuals there. We can also go ahead and quickly look at the ratings. And they're kind of normal looking, as you'd expect when you're averaging ratings together. We did not observe a value of 1.5, 1.25, or 1, but that's just dumb luck. If we randomly generated more cases, we might see some 1s and 1.25s and so forth. Let's see. We didn't see a 7 or a 6.75 either, but those are more difficult to come by when you're averaging 4 items. But these data look good, and so we're all set. Select OK here. And so now I have my ratings and my grouping ordering, and I can go ahead and run the analysis and the randomization test as the next step in determining sample size.